The Barian clan have succeeded in their ultimate mission and now have 2 of the 4 cards needed to unlock Zark's box and rain destruction across the dimensions. However, before we move forward with that plot point, let's use this week to take a look to the past and see some things not covered by the main series itself. This week we check out the Unleashed spin-off series, Yu-Gi-Oh! Unleashed, Behind the Duels. Now this Behind the Duels episode is arguably one of the most important of them all, considering it's very important to Topia. It's his in-between for what happens later in the arc and since last we left him. Anyway, this is last we left him.
Oh really? Just watch me.
I don't know why this wasn't one of the proper episodes, but I guess there just wasn't room to put it in or something, or it's a last-minute inclusion, or it's just a case of like, well, we gotta jumpstart this new series somehow. Here's one that's canon. Anyway, Topia's unconscious and wakes up here.
The last thing I remember was Ridley and then... 3? You can thank me for that. Sensei.
That's right, his master.
Sensei.
In the saggy flesh.
Don't. You're not in the right position to talk to me, Topia. Not after everything you've done. You have brought disgrace upon my dojo. You have attempted to start another war with the fusion dimension. You lost the control of One for All Dragon, and thus its respect for you. And you have let that desperateness to prove your worth get to you once again.
And that's what you did right today.
No. No, I swear, don't you dare talk back to me. Mister, this life is clearly not worth living anymore. How? I have my ways.
And we find out what those ways are in Heartland Dojo Saga.
And not only have you shattered the trust of One for All Dragon, but you've shattered your trust with me. And quite frankly, I think it's about time that I act. Duel me. But sir, why?
I didn't say
Do
please.
not ask your sensei questions. I'm going to prove to you how much of a hollow duelist you've become. So unless you don't have any more fight left in you, I suggest you accept my challenge right now. Sir.
No!
Enough of your excuses, Topia. Prepare yourself. Okay.
I guess I'll get my game on.
Let's duel. I'll go first. I draw.
Darn right you will. I don't get a battle phase unless you go first.
Masquerade Cyrus from my hand.
Because this is the proper last time we see masquerades, I believe.
By discarding
Although I don't want to put any money on that one, considering how many times I've been wrong in this series before.
Masquerade Gomez. Now I overlay these two. With these two monsters, I exceed summon rank 4 Masquerade Shakespeareus. I
Yo.
return with 2 face down cards. It's your move. Pitiful. What? It appears that this new deck has crippled you much more than I expected. The question I ask, though, is why did you change it to begin with? No answer? Very well, then. It's my turn.
I just have to duel the answer out of you.
It will be the last turn. I draw!
Calling
I
final
activate
turn
the
already.
spell card Foolish Burial. I'll use it to send one monster from my deck to the graveyard. I send to my graveyard Tyrant Dragon. Now I'll activate my Dragon Shrine. This lets me send Rabbit Dragon from my deck to the graveyard. And by doing so, I can send another Dragon-type monster from my deck to the graveyard. I'll send this one.
Saying a lot of high-level dragons.
Dragons to his graveyard.
Five-headed.
Now I activate the spell card Trade In. This lets me send White Knight Dragon from my hand to the graveyard to draw 2 cards. Now I summon one-on-one Wyvern.
Okay.
I activate his effect. By discarding my Assault Wyvern from my hand, I can summon another one-on-one Wyvern from my deck. Now behold, Topia. With these 2 level 4s,
Here we go.
I build the
Time to get
overlay
nuts.
Network. I overlay my 2 Wyverns in order to exceed summon a familiar face. What? Come forth, great dragon of power. Come forth and go beyond. I exceed summon rank 4.
One for all dragon. I can't forget this.
No. You have a one for all dragon too? Indeed. As I said before, in the past, there are only 9 copies.
Yeah,
of
9
one
copies, like I was gonna say.
The one I gave to you was a previous copy donated to me by a close friend. Now you can see how rageful I am.
Given how much foreshadowing there is in Unleashed, much to my own surprise, we'll probably meet that close friend at some point.
And you're about to feel its wrath in a second. But first, I'll discard Dragon Coin from my hand. This monster has a very unique ability. Now, for the rest of this turn, any attack value that my dragons gain is doubled. What?
And remember how what One for All Dragon's effect is.
Special ability.
That's like how the One for All rarity is gold rarity, just to show how important it is.
I'll get rid of both of them to give it 8,000 attack points. And Dragon Coin doubles that attack value, meaning it gains 1,600 attack points. 17,000 attack points.
Shakespeare is super dead. I hope those face downs are useful.
I activate one-on-one Wyvern's graveyard effect by banishing this card, along with any number of dragon-type monsters from my graveyard. One for All gains their combined attack, and Dragon Coin doubles that attack gained.
And sadly, we never... Jesus. Look at all those stats.
Behold!
49,900. Ah, so close to the 50k.
Survive that? Well, believe it.
I'm looking at that just like, oh man.
Make him feel your wrath. Attack with Detroit Neutron Destruction.
Well, you had like a Luster Dragon instead of a Assault Wyvern. Yeah, super dead. No space stones were about as useful as Yura's when he faced the frickin' Leerless guy in Hungry 7. Victor.
Even after everything I've taught you, this was the best you could do.
I guess even the spin-off series, it still counts. It's canon.
Why that previous One for All that you lost deemed you worthy enough to wield it.
Neither do I.
Forgive me, Sensei. I let One for All's power get to me. I just thought that I. Do you honestly hear yourself, Topia? I want this. I want that. All the time you were fighting for something that you wanted, instead of what other people wanted. A true
There's stupid First Evil Incorporated in the background.
Others, not for the needs of himself. Are you actually going to fight for a cause that's not just for yourself for once? Or are you just going to continue caring about what you want?
I choose what I want.
Unbelievable. In fact, I should take that mask off of you and walk away on the spot. You clearly don't deserve a symbol of our dojo.
Damn.
Of course. But I'm not going to.
Huh? He was willing to give it up like that.
There are many people
without a
who
fight.
Foolish pathways and make foolish mistakes. But only the smarter people learn from them. Maybe it's because I'm still attached to you somewhat. But I want to see if you have the guts to be one of those people. Wait, where are you going? Aren't you gonna... No. Think of this as your final chance.
Don't fail me.
To see what you do with it.
Yeah, your second and last chance. Don't screw it up. I ain't doing 6 chances. Sup? It was. It supported Topia's character.
Explain the gist of this new series.
We're not cutting to all of them now. We're just doing these 2 for now. Then we'll come back after like season 2, maybe.
Which honestly just gives me an excuse to do, you know, multiple duels without having to, you know, have these big stories attached to the videos. So, in other words, this is just, you know, an excuse to do duels, essentially.
What's funny is that this basically became its own series with its own plot. So it's like, this is just going to be a wacky spin-off series. It did not come that. Although it did become a series
Basically,
extension.
Small little videos not only allow me to, give you content now and again, but they also allow me to extend the universe of Yu-Gi-Oh! Unleashed. Like, you could see certain plot points or whatnot unveil, or you could find out what happens to certain characters, or how they go down certain paths, and etc.
Which is why we're here
Or
now.
it can just be an excuse for me to just do random duels, I don't know. That's basically the gist of this series, and I hope you enjoyed this first one.
I did. It was
When
important
the
to
next
Topia's
one
character.
comes
It's very
released,
crucial.
I don't know. And also as a short
Otherwise,
update,
Topia just
by
kind
the
of
time
comes
I
out of
finish,
nowhere.
I've already done about half of the finale of Yu-Gi-Oh! Unleashed Season 2. I don't have a confirmed release date yet. I still have a couple more episodes before I start.
Yes, before he
uploading it.
finished season 2.
So hopefully,
Needless to say,
probably
we're well
do
past
about,
that point.
I don't know, a couple of these for the time being, just to give you something to watch while I'm away on this little hiatus. So yeah. Regardless,
Unfortunately,
have a
that
good night,
sort of
and,
motivation
see
for
you next time.
S-Code would never
Bye.
stop being the case. Are there any duels you would like to see from this series? I gave mine back in the day, and this series is over, so there's no point in giving an excuse. I don't know. I guess back today would be frickin' Draco versus Bit. I don't know, but that doesn't really matter now. The series is canceled. Well, not canceled. It finished. I should say finished is different from cancellation. Very different. But yeah. This episode is very crucial and sort of basically needs to be in the Season 2 playlist, in my opinion. Like, I know why it's not, because it's not technically part of Season 2, it doesn't have a number, but otherwise with that, it's like, Topia, like, dies to Ridley, well, not die. He gets knocked unconscious by Ridley, and then just shows up again later. Like, it's not the end of the world if you don't have the Topia context, but, because, you know, he's just like, oh, he got knocked out, and he came back and wants round 2. But, otherwise, it's, this is crucial, you need this information. It is that important. The other episode we'll watch after this is probably not as important, but it didn't make sense to do like one part and then come back to the main line. It's how I chose to do things. Bully me later. It's a very important episode to Topia going forward, and again, you need to see it because it explains a lot. I do like, though, how I guess it's good that the master can just give him the deck in the sense of just be like, now use this deck to kick your spell, because then it's just handing him the answer. But it's also like, he stole one for all dragon. Give me the deck and the answer. Give me that deck. Screw my deck. I'd throw up masquerades for that. Are you kidding me? I'd throw up masquerades. Anyway, that's for an entirely different story. I always love it in the freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows. Us fan shows. I said 2 face downs. Never activate those face downs. I think there's only like one duel the entirety of the anime where it's like I have a face down card. It's never used. I think it's like Zuzu versus Yugioh. That. Ugh. Anyway, what's most interesting to me is this the fact of, like, the master, because first time watching this, oh, this is all just a dream. It technically is, spoiler warning, but, the master having this power to appear in his dreams, actually, there's a case that is the actual master. He's not just hallucinating and having all that stuff. No, there's some genuineness to it. The master can do magical things, which, again, if you want to check out more about that, Heartland Dojo Saga, go ahead. But that's the case of it, I guess. So, yeah, that's an important Topia backstory episode. So, what do you think about it? I think it held up as well as I expected. You know, it's crucial. It's a need to watch, but, you know, yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah? So, I'm not gonna say much more about that. It is what it is, and what it is useful. So, yeah. Goodbye, Masquerades. This is the last time we'll see you, I think. And, onward to see what Topia can do now with this new lease on life. I do like how they had that whole explanation, just like, you're focusing on yourself too much, kind of only what you want. Have you ever stopped to think about what other people want? I never thought. I just thought I could do what would make people happy. Well, have you ever asked them what would make them happy? One of those sorts of things. So yeah, good to give Topia a bit more. One more L for you, Topia, before the ultimate L. Oy. Topia did. Oh no, I was about to be like, Topia doesn't win a duel, but no, he wins a couple duels, I'm gonna say. His wins are early on in the series, and then he just, But anyway, yeah, I'm going off topic now, so that's the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! Unleashed Behind the Duels Episode 1. Again, we will not be finishing this series. I'm not gonna, like, stop in the middle of Season 2 to go to and watch this whole series. No. We'll come back at the end of Season 2. But until then, that time comes. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all next time. Until then, later.